All right, let's take a journey into the dark heart of one of the most chilling revenge stories ever put to paper, Edgar Allan Poe's The Cask of Amontillado. This isn't just a simple horror story, it's a deep dive into psychological terror, and we're about to break down exactly what makes it so unforgettable. Right from the very first line, Poe throws us headfirst into the mind of our narrator, Montresor. There's no messing around, no slow build-up. The story kicks off with this cold, terrifying vow. He claims he's put up with 1,000 injuries, but it was one single insult, which she never even explains, that pushed him over the edge. So Montresor wants revenge, but for him, it's not just about getting even. Oh no, it has to be perfect. Let's get into his very specific and very chilling philosophy. See, Montresor doesn't just wing it. He has rules, like a dark, twisted code of conduct. Rule number 1, punish with impunity, which basically means you can't get caught. But rule number 2, and this one is absolutely crucial to him, the victim has to know that it's you who's getting revenge on them. If they don't know who's doing it, then what's the point, right? So you're probably asking, okay, what did Fortunato do that was so terrible? And here's the genius part. Poe never tells us. We have absolutely no idea. By leaving that detail out, Poe forces us to be trapped inside Montresor's head, and we have to wonder, is this guy even sane? Can we trust a single word he's saying? And this is where it gets really creepy. He's not just plotting in the shadows. He's smiling right to Fortunato's face, shaking his hand, acting like his best friend, all while fantasizing about his total and utter destruction. That level of two-faced deception is just bone-chilling. Okay, on to phase 2. How do you get your sworn enemy to walk right into a deadly trap? Well, you've got to lure him. And Montresor is a master of this, using the wild, drunken chaos of carnival season to set his stage perfectly. You know, every great trap needs the perfect bait. And Montresor knows Fortunato's #1 weakness, his fatal flaw, his pride. The guy is convinced he's the world's greatest wine expert. So what does Montresor do? He dangles the ultimate prize, a rare, priceless cask of Amontillado. Fortunato's ego just can't handle the thought of missing out. And here's the checkmate move. To really seal the deal, Montresor uses a little reverse psychology. He says, you know, you seem sick. I can just ask our rival Lucchesi to check the wine. Oh, you can just feel Fortunato's pride taking a massive hit. There is no way he's letting Lucchesi get the glory. He insists he has to go. And just like that, the trap is set. And so they begin their descent. They leave behind the loud parties and colorful costumes of carnival and head down, down, down into the damp, dark family catacombs. And let me tell you, the whole vibe changes instantly. It gets real quiet, real creepy, and you just know nothing good is going to happen down there. The setting itself is almost like a weapon. These catacombs aren't just spooky, they're actively hostile. The walls are covered in this mineral called nitre, and it's making Fortunato's bad cough 100 times worse. And Montresor, the whole time, is pretending to be worried about his health. It's just another layer of his cruel, calculated game. Picture this. They're deep underground, surrounded by the bones of Montresor's ancestors, and they stop for a drink. The irony here is so thick you could choke on it. Fortunato makes a toast to the dead people all around them, with no clue he's about to join them. Then Montresor has the nerve to toast to Fortunato's long life. It's just, wow, absolutely chilling. And then we get this little exchange, maybe one of the most famous bits of foreshadowing ever. Fortunato waves off his cough, saying, "It will not kill me." And Montresor just calmly replies, "True, true." He's not even lying. He knows with 100% certainty it won't be the cough that kills him. As if things weren't ominous enough, Montresor shares his family motto, Nemo me impune lacessit. In English, no one attacks me and gets away with it. This isn't just some old family saying. It's Montresor's life philosophy. It's the mission statement for this entire horrifying night, and poor drunk Fortunato is completely oblivious. Okay, this is it. The moment we've all been dreading. Deep in the earth, far from anyone who could possibly hear a scream, Montresor's plan finally reaches its terrible conclusion. They reach the very end of the line, a little dead-end niche in the wall. And before Fortunato can even figure out what's going on, bam, Montresor snaps a chain around his waist and padlocks him to the solid rock wall. He's too drunk, too surprised, and he's been tricked into thinking this is all just a big joke. With Fortunato trapped, Montresor uncovers a pile of bricks and mortar he'd hidden nearby, and he begins to wall him in, one horrifying brick at a time. You can just feel Fortunato's realization happening in stages. First, a confused moan. Then, he starts desperately rattling the chains. And finally, the loud, shrill screams of pure terror. Montresor actually pauses his work just to listen, just to savor the sounds of his victory. At the very end, Fortunato lets out one last desperate plea. "For the love of God, Montresor!" But Montresor is just a void of humanity at this point. He just echoes the words right back at him, mocking him. Yes, for the love of God. And with that, all hope is gone. So the deed is done, the tomb is sealed, but the story isn't quite over. Montresor gives us one last, haunting update that reveals the final outcome of his so-called perfect crime. Before he places the final stone, Montresor shoves his torch into the last little opening. The only sound he hears in response is the faint jingling of the little bells on Fortunato's jester hat. It's such a pathetic, sad little sound. The death of the fool. And then, complete silence. And here's the final twist of the knife. Montresor tells us that all of this happened 50 years ago, half a century. And for all that time, the body has laid there undisturbed. He did it. He followed his rules perfectly. He got his revenge, and he got away with it. But that leaves us with the story's great, lingering question. Why is he telling this story now as an old man? Is he bragging one last time, gloating about how he pulled off the perfect crime? Or could this be a deathbed confession? Is a guilty conscience finally catching up to him after 50 years of silence? Poe never tells us. He just leaves us to wonder.